Hello, how are you today? Hope everyone's maintaining the targets. I hope you're going to be able to use this information and maybe straighten out the tangled string and straighten it out a little bit, being my experience and research and uh, explanation of tactics and the routine that they have purveyed on me and others before me. So here we go. In the days and months that followed after I was first targeted by John Dillard, Mike Miller, Rick Piper, the Cult of Raven, and a list of others, people on YouTube, it escalated to the place where I live. Rhonda moved in next door. Eddie, the bad shit started happening here. The worst part to know how this worked is a story all of its own. I first met her at Eddie's and knew the second she opened her mouth she was a shady, lying B-word. A while at first I didn't know. In coming days, seeming nice and wanting to be helpful and friendly, but as time went on, right after the game started, it all goes south and realized she backstabs everyone and recruits others to do so. From the day outside when I told her I wrote the Like a Stone song, weird things became more clear. I'm pretty sure they are part of the whole thing from when it first started on YouTube. That my comic ideas were stolen and the whole lot of them had made the plans to ruin me well in advance when the love bombing started. The group, I shall call them, which I will refer to in a list later in another chapter, first started angling to get close and friendly with me on my YouTube channel by first sending in Rick Piper and John Dillard. Around after I started the channel, I hadn't had one, but I was spending a lot of time watching the other channels and drawing along with them and meeting new people. So I decided to do my own channel. It started out slow and even stayed that way, but somehow I ended up being a guest on other channels in the indie comics community. I never missed a drawn and quartered episode and drew every day. Over time and showing my work seemed harmless, but as it turns out, this changed. I first realized I was targeted and was being scammed when I first told my idea for Dead Parrot on Draw and Talk, when I pitched my idea and Busby said he hated it. But Macho Man followed me and basically pitched the same idea right after me changing little. And Chester was all, oh, that's great. So I knew I was being used. After being around a while and watched D&Q Fan Edition and posting my draw-alongs, I knew people were looking at my work and at me, but the people running these programs were pinching me off. I noticed a correlation between when I came into a channel, it was always Scott's here, like it was a joke. When they would show draw along from viewers, I would get glossed over when people in chat would say, what's that one? Which would be my work. I noticed they would spend time looking at certain people's work even though it was shit. I paid no mind for a long time until someone else actually said, you always gloss over my work. And I started to agree they were doing that to me and others moving forward. I had noticed a group of people, Cult of Raven, bashing someone named Renthamus, always saying horrible shit about her, but never seeing her or anything from her. In other words, I saw them always bashing about how shit she was, etc., and I didn't like it because it was always backbiting. And I asked, what did the person do to you? I have never seen her. No one could answer that. They just target her as a group. In other words, the same horde of scumbags that have been ruining me. After I started appearing regularly on Cross Comic Stream, I later decided to be a contestant on Fan Edition, Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition. I won and got on the Pro Edition, and that is where they changed the format and presented Godsword, which is a stolen version of My Paladin, which is, My Paladin Relic Hunter idea. I called Mike Miller on it. The Thief and Liar said he created it in 2005. A lie detector on him will prove he's lying. Right after that program, my targeted stalking began. Shortly after this, my neighbors began harassing me. John Dillard followed me around in his Ford truck a few times, I am aware of, and instant at night, tailgating me with his lights off on Bellflower Boulevard here in Bellflower. The group began spying on me using remote neural monitoring and electronically harassing me and voicing death threats on B2K, which is voice to skull technology. My neighbors began verbally harassing me in front of my house, and on Twitter I was being harassed by this group. On YouTube channels I went to, I was also harassed in a code fashion, not saying my name, but saying things that only pertain to me. Then my computer was hacked, my accounts hacked by them using RNM remote neural monitoring to glean info and passwords. They began impersonating me while I had no presence on the internet. My internet was completely off and continue to this day. This is where it gets outer limits, or Twilight Zone-esque. With these do weapons, tech, and organized stalking tactics. Here I will backtrack a little bit to Cross Comics and YouTube. As I have researched before, I appeared on Cross Comics to find Brandon. I found that the same group rallied him in the same fashion they did me. They were calling me Brandon 2. They love bomb him, then all of a sudden he is no longer there. In future, I will find him to converse with him on the subjects. I'm absolutely certain he will reveal he has been targeted and stalked ever since. The proof is everywhere. They have stalked and harassed Renthamus. You can look it up yourself. So it only is logical he too has been defamed. The tactics are the same. They used Rick to get to the target and postulate a plan of attack and get info such as address, with things such as sending him via mail. They sent me stuff mail. Then they send agents to move in close and befriend you, befriend the target. In regard to the initial street theater stalking tactics, this is not a small group task. There is a large community of perpetrators, all linked. In a list, I will provide known connected people in a section later. In collaboration to each other in channels and other forums. Some will be screen names, others will be real names. They use a rudimentary form of Morse code in blinks to communicate and chat emojis. Their goals. This is items. Item 1, isolation. First, to single out a target and determine the routine and understand their victim. 2, the process. Identify the target location, involve surrounding people, and recruit or place individuals around the target. 3, love bombing. Make the individual feel that he or she is part of a family and help them achieve a goal or at least appear so. 4, glean intent. Find out what the target is passionate about for the theft of their intellectual property or exploitation via drama bashing. 5, then they discard you. Discard. Make intentions clear with the subject, yet remain intangible. They'll let you know. They'll let you know they're fucking you over, but nobody else. And then attack the target in code or innuendo, via in memes, in chat on channels, other things. 6, harassment. Begin the stages of online mocking, via the memes and abuse. Follow the target everywhere with agents. That means everywhere you go, via notifications and tracking. They notify. They have the group chat that they notify each other with. They tried to link me to it once, and I automatically removed it. 7, regulation. Pacify the target with threats, defamation, memes, slander, and blackmail. 8, coercion. Imbue others not affiliated with the core group via several media platforms, video games, isolated friends, and family, presenting a narrative to demean the target and create dissent against the target. Number 9, and this is basically the last one that I'm going through before I'm going to end this. 9 is recruitment. They'll try to enlist the target to join the ranks by voicing intent. If you help us, the targeting will stop. Do not do this. Do not join them. Do not consent to help them, anything, because this is a classic espionage tactic to create you as an agent / scapegoat. So, that's basically chapter 1 of this dossier I'm writing. That's initially how my targeting started. That's the people who did it that I'm aware of, the onset. Now, there's a larger group. As I said, I'm going to create a list, whether they fucking like it or not. And I'm going to present that list right here, because I'm sick of the shit that they're doing to every fucking buddy on YouTube and anywhere they fucking come along with. I don't know Infamous. I've never met her, never seen her, but I saw what they did to her, and I never saw her at all. I never saw Brandon at all. And they're comparing me to Brandon, who was on Cross Comics before I was. And I've seen what they've done to me, so I'm sure that they're pulled the same crap with him. So I'm not putting up with this shit. I'm gonna expose it, whether they like the fucking story or not, whether they like being talked about or not. I don't give a fuck. So, any questions, comments? Your comment just disappeared. What comment? On my page? Tip? What? Your comment just disappeared? Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. Um, I've been screenshotting every one of my comments that I put on anybody else's page, on my page, and I save them. And the reason I do that is because they're doing the same shit to me. They they removed my entire discussion tab on my homepage channel, my homepage, which I had documented a lot of stuff and said a lot of names and a lot of activities that they perpetrated against me, and they removed that. And they removed my comments as well. So I'm not surprised that they're doing it to you too. So my advice: screenshot every fucking comment you make. Make a folder. If you're a target and you comment anything, screenshot that shit, because they'll manipulate it or hide it. They've done the same shit to my Facebook comments I've made. They manipulate, change words. I don't have nothing to apologize for, but I looked on my page on my Facebook. Someone says there's something that says came from me that says, "Oh, I have so many things to apologize to people for." I don't have no fucking shit to apologize for, you motherfuckers. I don't have shit to apologize to you bastards for. Not a fucking thing. You fuckers are sick. Yeah, I'm a little perturbed. Because the last couple days they've been talking a lot of shit to me on V2K, and I'm fucking sick of it. I called the FBI again. Now, I know I mentioned to talk to the CIA. Well, I've already talked to the CIA, but I called the FBI because I got a reason behind that. But I'm not going to go into that right now. Yeah, uh, Joff, Duffy, I'm not fucking afraid of them either. They can fucking suck my dick. But anyway, that's 5 pages or 6 pages. Um, and those 9 tactics are, are are not nearly the scope of it. Those are just tactics that I am certain of, and in a descending order, the way they perpetrate and the onset of a target. Um, I'm going to continue, and it's going to be there's going to be probably 10 chapters before I'm done, and I'm going to publish this fucking book. But I don't mind reading it aloud, because it's basically a deposition about gang stalkers and my personal targeting, but also information to help you understand that, you know, when they try to get you to, to join them or recruit you, that's what they're doing. They're trying to get you to become part of the family. So So they can say, see, he's one of us, and he's been doing this. That's what they're going to fucking pull. They're going to pull like, oh, you're the one pulling this shit. And they're going to scapegoat your ass. They're going to try and scapegoat you anyway, regardless. But that, you do not want to ever say, oh, yeah, I consent to shit with you. Never consent to them remote neural monitoring you, or never consent to any of that shit. Because it's just fucking stupid to say you can consent to anything these fuckers have to offer. They'll play the good guys. They'll impersonate FBI. They'll impersonate Men in Black with you. They'll impersonate any fucking buddy and everybody to get to you. They've done it right here on my channel. I mean, in the chat, talking about agents and FBI and Director Robert Mueller and shit. They're a bunch of fucking criminals, plain and simple. All there is to it. And they're all connected. And they will do, like I said, they'll target you, and then they have no problem spending money to move in close to you, because they're gonna try to make money moving in close to you, moving in next door, down the street, and becoming part of your circle while they're isolating you. Because then they're going to discard you, and those same people are the ones that are going to say you're the asshole, that you're the one causing all the problems in the neighborhood or wherever you live, that you're crazy, that you're, you need help, you need a doctor. They'll call the fucking cops on you and get you in trouble for shit they've done. So be aware of that. And all the while they'll be nice to you in front of other people. But when there's no one else watching, it's, they're going to stick you in the fucking back like a Judas. So, that being said, this video was all about what I've been writing all this morning in retrospect and recollection. Most of that story I'm remembering back over 3 years ago. And it's still vivid because I think about it a lot, why they did this and how they've done it and what they've done and how far back it goes long before that. So from the initial onset 20 years ago, where they originally stole my music and it made a #1 on the charts, by a group called Audio Slave. They've been looking for me, I'm certain of that, because I've been moving around, because I've been having issues, staying in places, because it's kind of expensive to live here in California. But they've been following me around for years, but they just went overt like this a few years ago. And mainly because of, I caught them fucking red-handed on that drawn and quartered program, stealing my fucking idea for Paladin and making it God Sword. So I'm not hiding my intentions anymore. As I've said before, everything I'm telling you is fucking true. None of this is embellished. None of this is imagined. None of this is faked. But they fake a lot of shit about me and you if you're a target. And there's big money behind this shit. I mean, if it involves music industry, comic book industry, whatever other creative outlets, there's money behind it. The data theft and sell of your information on the deep web is big fucking money. It's a multi-billion-dollar crime syndicate. So they have no problem, spending money to get close to you, to destroy you so that you don't come back on them in the future. If there aren't any comments or questions, or if someone doesn't want to come up here and talk, I'm pretty well done with this chat. But if you have some questions in the chat or whatever, that would be fine. But if you want to come up here, you can voice that in the chat too, and I'll drop the link if you have something you'd like to add to what I've just said, or if you'd just like to chat with me. Because until the 15th or something, when I get more free time to use StreamYard, this is going to be the only time I'm going to have StreamYard for a few more days. So if you'd like to use my platform and say something that's on your mind, now would be a good time to do it. I would like to hear somebody else's story for once. I'm not going to continue on mine because I'm going to write it down first, and then I'm going to present it. Like I said, in chapters. That's chapter 1. It's about 7 pages long, so by the time I'm done, there's probably going to be 300 pages, but I don't know. I don't have a schedule, Tip. I don't do a schedule. I come on when I have something to say and something to present, and when I found new information. Would you like to come up and talk? For a little bit? You don't have to use a camera. As I said, I did some research into, like I'm all about the research, finding the history and shit that's going on here. If you have something you'd like me to research, let me know, because I'll dig into it and I'll find your answers for you. And I won't sugarcoat a fucking turd. All right. I'll give you a link. You can come on up here. Move dog. Come on up then. Have a chat. Anybody in here? So like I said, I'd like to hear somebody else's story for once. Oh, not really. I did see some court excerpts about it, that the judge got really pissed off because they were trying to orchestrate a mistrial by doing shit they absolutely knew as a lawyer you don't do. Why don't you come up here, Si? Tell us about it. Talk about it. Come on. Come on. Come up here. Come on. Don't be shy. You're not afraid to be seen. You got your own channel. I'm really anxious today. Because I'm kind of pissed off, but that's all right. I deserve it. I'm allowed to be pissed off. What do you mean you don't have your mic right now? What do you do with it? Oh, really? Well, why don't you come up and tell us about it, Odyssey? So is that lending credence to some of the targeting, is it? I'd like to hear. Well, good on you for helping out a homeless person. I mean that. To be perfectly honest, Odyssey, no, I'm quite pissed off right now. Aggravated. I'm sick of this shit that these fucking scumbags are doing to people. Not just me. And they just keep getting away with it. And they keep fucking people and fucking people. For no reason other than greed or because they're just shitty fucking people. You feel me? Now, I'm not going to be silent about the people who are doing this to me anymore. I mean, I I, I try not to talk about them, but that's over. That shit's over because they ain't got no qualms against fucking slandering the shit out of me on their liar streams or whatever the fuck they're doing and posting fake profiles of me on Radaris and posting shit about me on Reddit, whatever. Come on, Twitter. Fuck you. I'm over it. I'm over. No more Mr. Nice Guy, like Alice Cooper says. No more Mr. Clean. My fucking neighbors are doing this shit. They moved in here to do this shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. These people will fucking move into your neighborhood to fuck with you. All targets know it. All of us. It's not someone 1,000 miles away fucking with you. They got people right next door to your ass fucking with you. You notice I'm not being casual with my language, cursing a little bit. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna hide that shit. You know, I, as much as I'd like to choke the shit out of some asshole who desperately deserves it, due to stress. I don't think I'm going to need to go that route because, like you said up there, Joff, that they're a bunch of fucking cowards. Hello, Ty. Ti, what's happening? You gotta turn your mic on. All I'm saying is, please don't start with some racist shit or nothing like that, because I'll boot your ass. If you're here to talk about targeting, that's great, or something else, but hello? Something wrong with your mic or what? No, apparently something's wrong with Ti's mic. So you say Kyle Rittenhouse was a target, Odyssey? Like I said, I haven't been following that. Does he know who by? Is he actually trying to prosecute somebody, or is he being prosecuted for something? I haven't paid attention. I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention to it. I keep busy trying to do my own thing. You gonna try again, Ty? I'm just gonna call you Ty. Yeah, you're having some issue with your mic. I don't know what it is, bro. I mean, I know it's not my end, so yeah. Maybe you need to calibrate it or something. I don't know. Come on, Odyssey, spill the beans. What's going on with this Kyle Rittenhouse dude? Come in here and tell us. Don't be quiet. Do it. You can be the star of the show. Come on. But like I said, I'm gonna write another section about oh, your mic's not working on the phone. I'll probably write another chapter tomorrow or the next day and present it on just the regular video encoder that YouTube has, because I'm not going to have any more stream time with StreamYard for a few days. But that's okay. And I'm going to pack it with research, and it'll have another section to do with extended targeting experience of my own with people. And I'm going to compile my list of people. And you're going to hear just who right here on YouTube that you don't want to fucking be around. Oh, come on. What do you mean you can't join the stream? Don't be scared. I'm not. I'm just kidding. I don't think you're scared. But anyway, I don't know if anybody in here right now actually looked at the episode I posted where I did the research on remote neural monitoring solely on the remote neural monitoring. But the inflection that conveys about the manipulation process and how they'll actually like inhabit a person without their knowledge or consent. And this is documented stuff, not by me. And constructed through patent information presented by scientific experimentation on involuntary subjects. And I mean involuntary because they have no idea it's actually being perpetrated on them at any given time. So when a person's being abused by I've come to the clarity to call it the avatar program, part of remote neural monitoring, where basically you're being used like a puppet or a video game character.
Hello?
There you are.
Hey, I don't got earphones in, so I hope you could hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit. Just turn
Good.
it up. So how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just another day, Well, me, myself, I've been targeted for January will be 5 years.
That's quite a while. Is that overt or is that,
overt?
Yeah.
All overt. And
you understand that though that you were targeted a long time before that, right?
Yeah, they covertly watch you, so they know everything
for years. Yeah.
Yeah. So they know everything about you, so they know who you know.
So they can formulate an attack.
Where you go. and all
They
that.
know all your family. They know all your friends. They know where you lived. They know every job you've had. They know all that shit.
Yeah, I just, even like before being targeted, I never even heard about gang stalking, you know?
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
Do you know that you're being impersonated somewhere?
You mean like explain more?
Deep faked, presented somewhere else that you aren't aware of, or at
I
least,
have I have heard of that.
yeah. Well, I know they're doing it to me. Who else we got here? We got some. We got someone named Robert Johnny. I'm gonna pull up here. We'll see just what this character.
Hi, nigger.
Yeah, I knew it'd be a racist shit.
Yeah, you're racist. Fuck
You're a
you.
piece of shit. Fuck
Fuck
you, Robert Johnny.
you.
No, fuck you and your mother
Fuck.
too. Get the fuck out of here, fucking racist.
Oh man, we got the perps in here.
Fucking racist. Thank you for doing that. I'm gonna report your ass. Report that guy, Robert Johnny. No, it's probably a fake fucking profile, but still report the bastard.
That sounded like he's probably about like 17, 16-year-old perp. Yeah. That's what I call the lowest level of perp, the cyber perp.
Well, you know, I give people the benefit of the doubt by pulling them up here, and that's what's a lot of the times what's been happening is they come off with some racist bullshit like that.
Yeah.
I don't use that word, and I don't use that word, and I'm not going to allow a motherfucker to be on here using that word in any intonation. You're a piece of shit just for saying that shit. Kiss your mother with that mouth, you little motherfucker.
Yeah. So how many years you been targeted?
The overt part, about 3.5 years now, but as you know, like I said, after you've been targeted for a while, the ball of string that's all tangled up, you're able to straighten it out and look back in your own memory and history where your shit started, right? You pretty much know when, why, and how, right? I'm sure you've looked at yourself. Around 20 years for me from when, like I said, they first stole some music from me.
Oh, really?
I'm sure they've been looking for me ever since. And finally, when they found me, they formulated another plan to proceed this crap.
Yeah, like me, I could only guess why I'm targeted. You know, it like I shouldn't be targeted. Like nothing result is justified for me to be targeted, but I was never no serious whistleblower, nothing crazy like that.
If you're like me, you have a relatively clean record, right?
Yeah, I got only juvenile, like disorderly conduct.
I got some bad shit I did as a kid. I did some pretty fucked up shit as a kid, but yeah.
Yeah, and so nothing justifies any of this. But like maybe I made one comment about some current event years ago. I can't even remember what it was. And maybe that was because of why.
Yeah.
But and then there's a whole bunch of other reasons. Like I used to live with me and my family moved in with somebody who was part like Arabic, and the neighbors were Jewish, and they had the cameras pointed at the house, and they were just harassing. They were doing gang stalking stuff to this family that I used to live with before I even knew about gang stalking, you know?
Right.
And Yeah, so maybe that's what could have been. The neighbors had a vendetta, and, they just didn't like because we're living with them,
Yeah, you might have been targeted as a
And
connection.
I'm like Norwegian and Native American, so I'm not even anything like that, I didn't even know that there was such a big before moving in there. I didn't even know there was such a big animosity between the two sides, the
Right.
Jews and the Arabs and all that.
Well, as far as your your nationality goes, I was told by my great grandmother when I was like 6 years old that I had some Cherokee blood in me. That the father I think was my father. When I turned 35, I went to go visit my mother. She was ill, and she told me that Robert isn't really your father. Someone named Charles Taylor is your father. And I tried to research him. I like doing research, but there's like 100 Charles Taylors. So finding out, there's one that's a black guy that's the president of like Zambia or some shit, and there's a bunch, but I wasn't actually able to narrow down which Charles Taylor it was, but it made me think about what my great grandmother used to always tell me that I had Cherokee blood and that she always knew,
Yeah, some people say
that I have a little
it
bit in there.
It could be the bloodline, like the RH negative, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which one I am.
You do understand that every human on the planet is either RH negative or RH positive.
Oh, really?
You can look it up yourself. That every human is either RH negative or RH positive.
Oh, yeah. I don't
RH
know.
positive means that you have some alien DNA. RH negative means that you don't have it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
well, that's the story.
Yeah, like me, my blood, I'm not even sure which tribe of Native American I come from.
It doesn't matter.
I got guesses. It could be over by North Dakota and Canada area, or it could be along the Columbia River Gorge in the Washington Dalles area.
Well, you can ancestry yourself and find out where your family is.
Don't you have to like submit blood for all that?
Okay, we got not necessarily. We have someone else that might want to come in here. Let's hope it's not going to be a racist scumbag.
Nigger! 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 You're a black fuck! Nigger!
I know who you are.
Nigger!
Shit. I've heard about you, fucking scumbag.
Fuck you, nigger! Fuck
Your
you!
mother was a hamster bitch.
Man, I thought that guy was a real TI from watching his channel.
He ain't no TI. He's a fucking perp gang stalking piece of shit. I already heard about that bitch.
That's crazy, man. Like I watched his channel, and is there a chance that could have been someone with his emoji?
I don't know. I really don't know, and I'm not going to speculate. But
yeah, that's
whoever that guy is. He's an asshole.
Yeah, I've watched that channel before.
Well,
that's crazy.
Yeah, all they're doing is outing themselves, right? I mean, when they pull that shit,
Yeah,
right?
they're
I
just
understand
they're
that.
taking their mask off.
Oh yeah, they're letting people see them for the piece of shits they really are. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, wow.
Let us know. Let us know that you're scum. We don't care. You
But
gotta live with it.
do you remember the first days that you noticed the overt where you're
Oh
like,
yeah,
there's
blatant,
definitely something going on?
blatant as fuck, dude. Blatant. And not even trying to hide it, right?
Yeah, like
Don't
I'll tell you my story of the first time I knew for a fact people
Uh-huh.
were stalking me. I was sitting
Right.
in a park with a friend of mine that I've known for a long time. He's actually homeless, and we were sitting in a nice park, not bothering nobody. Where a lot of people do what we're doing. We were just drinking a beer and smoking weed,
Right.
not being loud or anything, not bothering
Nothing wrong with
nobody.
that, man.
Yeah, and so some dude is staring at me across the park with a dog, but he's dressed up as like James Bond, like over trying to look like a cop for sure,
Yeah. Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's all extred out with his outfit, But at the time I never even heard about it. But this guy's walking around the park staring at me, dressed like this, acting like he's picking up garbage.
Uh-huh.
So at the time I didn't know street theater, but that's just the street theater, the little
Right.
picking up the garbage.
Uh-huh.
And so this guy's just I'm all confused. I'm all dumbfounded looking at this guy like what's going on here, So I tell my friend I was noticing stuff was happening before, but it wasn't like a for sure thing. I was still denying it,
Mm-hmm.
But I tell my friend, hey man, I gotta go, And so when I'm leaving the park, this guy he walks, he's watching me leave. He was on the a little bit far away, but once he saw me leaving, he started walking, following.
Right.
And I turned around and he's just standing there mean mugging me
Hmm.
from where I just left,
Right.
And then sure enough, after that, I run into a acquaintance couple, and this is like a couple days after. By this time, I already found out about gang stalking on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
I already know about what's going on. I knew for a fact this is what's going on. And then this couple walks up to me and says, "Oh, that's what they're wearing nowadays, huh?"
I have a
He was
question
doing
for you. Are you experiencing remote neural monitoring and V2K?
no V2K and remote neural monitoring.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't say that either.
Oh well. I'm just saying.
But I get the fake dreams,
Well, then you're being remote neural monitored. That's
Oh, okay.
part of
So
RNM.
that's
They're
what it
they're
is.
they're just not being overt with the B2K. They're talking shit about you on it, but they're not talking to you on it, right?
No, I don't. No, I don't hear anything like that.
No.
Do you notice the lone star drone in the sky? There will be nothing in the sky besides one big looking star.
Sometimes I've seen
Extra
that.
bright star, and you notice if you actually pay attention to it, if you drive in your car, it'll actually keep up with you. Or if you went on a run, like
Wow.
the stars lined up with you, and if you take off running, it's gonna keep going with, how you could, I did a test, like you could tell someone, hey, tell me if this thing follows me, and they stand still and I take off running.
And
Yeah,
then it follows you, huh?
sure enough, they'll see the thing going with me, and I've seen a lot of other TIs talk about the Lone Star drone, and they do that. They do that to me just to let me know. So I went down to Oregon this summer, and for one of the days, they weren't sending people to walk to do the stuff they do every day. They weren't. We were traveling the whole day. Then we stopped, and I didn't notice anybody doing it. But they had this star right there. But then the next morning when we woke up, they were out there in the parking lot where we were staying. But yeah. But that's how it is. The eyes in the sky. That's the way they follow you.
Well, I don't. I don't have a visual apparatus like that follow me around that I know of. That and I look up at the sky quite a bit.
Yeah. I'm guessing when you go out, you carry a phone with you so they could.
No, I don't take my phone with me very often. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me neither.
If you've been scanned into remote neural monitoring, they don't need to have you carry your phone with you. They target you via your delta waves and your brainwave pattern, EEG, EMF.
The brain mapping, stuff like that.
That's how they're targeting you. They don't need a phone. They don't need no fucking GPS. They don't need none of that shit. It's your brainwaves, your fingerprint. It's like a fingerprint.
You ever seen a channel called Brian 2?
What?
You ever seen a TI channel named Brian 2?
No.
Oh, well, he I guess he was I'm pretty sure he was in the government somehow. Don't quote me, maybe not. I'm pretty sure he was in the government somehow, and then they turned on him, like not in a bad way. I don't know. But now they torture him all day, and he's traveling all around the world trying to get away from it. He's stuck in Ecuador right now.
You can't get away from the satellites.
Yeah. And next time you get the chance,
or some shit.
Yeah, the next time you get a chance, check out a channel named BRYANTEW, Brian 2.
Okay.
He knows a lot about it, about the technology part and all that.
Okay.
Are they waiting for you at most of your stores before you get there?
Yeah, always somebody walking around with the directed conversations, or and the V2K is always there too, so they follow me with that shit. It doesn't matter where I'm at in my car or wherever I go.
Yeah. Do they do the one headlight?
I don't really pay attention to that part of it. To the, the cars. Maybe I don't really pay attention to it. I mean, the V2K remote neural monitoring is bad enough without having to try and concentrate on the number of cars with one headlight and how many people are pointing their phones at me, which is obvious,
Yeah, they love to do that.
And
I think most of that.
Say some random shit about you while they're talking to somebody else on their phone, and
most of the time they point the phone at you. It's just to get your attention. Most of the time, I believe. Like most of the time, they're not even filming you. They're just trying to let you know that they're fucking with you.
Yeah, maybe so.
But sometimes they they'll take a picture of you to show all the other perps what you're wearing that day, so they know what color. Just you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What outfit you're wearing, so then they could. Yeah.
I'm sure they do all that with the color coordination too sometimes. Like I say, I see a lot of the videos where they have people that are filming random people, right? And saying that's a perp and whatever, and it doesn't really matter what they're doing. I'm definitely not going to say that's paranoia, but I will say that it can't be everyone, against targets. You know what I mean? It can't be like that to where everybody's a perp or a target.
No, it ain't that.
It can't be possible. That can't be possible logically, because then it's going to come to a critical mass where all the targets are going to be eliminated or whatever, and
they can
then they're going
simultaneously
to eat each other.
they could simultaneously make someone that's not a perp target you though with technology.
With the manipulation, yes.
Yeah.
I understand that. That's why I'm talking about what I was talking about with the remote neural monitoring technology, how they can turn you into an avatar. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the movie Avatar, where the disabled guy is living as one of the aliens on the planet. Right? Excuse me.
Yeah. You're in Los Angeles, right?
I'm back. I want to say something about our last interloper into the chat here. Whether that was actual targeted Tony or not, you can't tell, because, like I said, they impersonate me that I'm perfectly aware of. So it stands to reason that they would do it to someone like you or him that is a high-profile target. Right?
Yeah, like I said, I've seen that channel before, and I thought he was a real target. So that could have just been someone trying to make him look bad. You never know.
I really don't know. I mean, that's a highly probable that it's possible that that is what is happening. I mean, I have someone come in here that says they're Meatloaf. If you know who Meatloaf is.
No, I don't know Meatloaf.
Meatloaf, the musician or singer from the 70s.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I've seen him come in chats with actors' names before, like Jim Carrey and stuff like that.
Is it? Yeah, that's
You know
basically
those
that.
are,
No,
yeah, you know.
I don't know if this is really the real Meatloaf. I looked at Meatloaf's channel, the real Meatloaf's channel, where he posts has videos of himself on, and I do know that Meatloaf has appeared on other YouTubers' programs. But until this person actually was to come on here, and do like you and talk, I'm going to reserve my opinion on as to whether, or not that's really Meatloaf or not. Whether that's
Yeah.
Melvin a day or not.
So you're in Los Angeles, right?
Bellflower, yeah.
So I'm guessing it's pretty bad there.
They're
Since it's a
everywhere,
big
yeah.
city, huh?
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just my point. This community or group, which is all interconnected. They're all interconnected. All the gang stalking communities somehow are connected with each other. Because even if you were to move from here to the UK, Germany, wherever, you're going to move around, they're going to have people already there, waiting for you.
Yeah. before going over, I went to Canada, and now that I know about the gang stalking, I feel like they were stalking me up there too, covertly.
Right.
Because you know how you could always backtrack and be like, "Oh, wait, that was gang stalking," even before gang stalking was a thing. Before you knew about it.
Hello, C-Dub.
Yo, what up? How you doing?
I'm good. Getting by. How are you doing? Sorry to interrupt you there, too. Tip.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm alright, man. The perps and stuff have been bothering me quite a bit recently. I think it's just like a group of people that sit and scheme and plot because they're like bored and have no lives, and they try to scheme out and plot how your life is gonna go, and then it just makes things seem really simulated. And they are always attacking people that know their true potential and who they are. They got people in traffic moving their heads left to right and stuff like hostas. I mean, there's a spiritual aspect that a lot of people don't talk about.
Yeah, there definitely there could definitely be that because sometimes if it wasn't technology, when these people seem like they're just demons all of a sudden, like there's been times where someone be normal, then when I get close to them, all of a sudden so it's either technology or they get possessed, something kind of like he's saying. But I think most of the time, maybe it's a mixture. Maybe the technology brings that evil frequency out of the people or something.
I don't know how you could be able to discern whether a demon is inhabiting somebody that's a gang stalker or not even a perp, or if it's the
It,
technology.
it's not demons, bro. It's perps, dude. It's perps and the technology. It's remote neural monitoring. I mean, they
No,
they
I'm
they invent.
100% sure that there's definitely demons that inhabit people while stalking. There's
Okay,
not
I'm not going to
that
argue
many
with you,
people.
but they've
There's
been
not
doing
that
this
many
since
people that are into it. Like,
1974, dude. They've been
what'd
doing
you
this
say?
shit since 1974 when they invented this shit, and it's just got so advanced that they they can make people look to you through your optic nerves like a demon. They can make you see shit that's not there because they're in contact with your brain and your nervous system. They're able to control that shit.
Not with me, but with a lot of people. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I've been gang stalked for 26 years now, and I'm only 26 years old. So I've been stalked since birth. They've tried to groom me to be one of their elites and stuff, and they know that I'm not playing ball, so they
Yeah,
keep coming at me.
they're not gonna give up on you. You know, just keep being Luke Skywalker and tell them to kick rocks because they're they want to use you to hurt other people if they can get you to you know play ball like you say there.
How do we
Just
expose the handler though? Apparently, you get a bunch of money if you expose the handler, but I think that's probably just bullshit.
who tells you that? I'm sure that's bullshit. You aren't gonna get
There was
anything.
there was a channel on YouTube recently talking about like if you expose the handler and find out who they are, they give you a bunch of money for you to be
Well,
quiet.
I know who's fucking with me. I've been saying it, and they ain't giving me no money.
Those are low level perps though. Like, who contracted them? That's what I want to know. Who the fuck contracted those low level perps that barely have enough access to that technology because they're enough sellouts and wicked people that they got access to that stuff?
They're never doing that. Don't be fooled with that, dude, because they're never gonna do anything for you ever.
Well, obviously,
Yeah,
if any of them
you
were
know that.
actually good people, they would have already told me who has been trying to gang stalk me since birth and who's doing what.
How long you been going through overt stalking, C-Dub?
They've been overtly stalking me since probably 4th grade, something like that.
That's fucked up.
Oh yeah, dude. Like really, really overtly, like taking over people, like in class. I even noticed it at a really young age. Like they have a specific story that they've tried to write out for me that they want me to follow, and I'm not. They know that I'm not gonna be a part of their little scheme.
Is that a picture of your Beamer, or is that just a picture of a Beamer?
Just a cool looking Beamer that's a album cover.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Wow,
I don't have a very nice car. They've tried to pretty much get me fired from every job that I'm at, and
they're good about that.
Oh yeah, a bunch of people throwing up hand symbols, the triangle signs, the Masonic signs, bunch of people with upside down stars.
Well, let me ask you something. Did they ever try to pull the alien card on you or the Men in Black card?
Yeah, they tried to tell me that they tried to convince me that I was abducted by aliens.
Uh-huh. And did they try to recruit you as the Men in Black? Because they tried to do that shit with me too.
No, they might have something in like my index finger or something that I need to get looked at though, because I have something in one of my fingers that's like was sensitive to metal when I was a kid. When it would get close to metal, it would like hurt or tingle.
Hello, Awakened World Faith. How you doing? Oh, they've been hacking you all day, have they? Yeah, they like to hack. It's not really hacking if they're remote neural monitoring you and they can get all your passwords from right out of your head.
I think they're actually on the part right now where they are trying to recruit me to the Men in Black. Now that you mention it,
don't do it. Don't ever say consent to any of that shit, man.
I don't consent to any of their gang stalking.
No fucking
never
way,
have, dude.
No way, right?
They want me to join so they can try to make me be a scapegoat, like you mentioned earlier.
That's exactly what they want. They want to, frame you up. They're going to try and set you up any way you go about it, but that will make it easier for them because, they're going to have access to you in that way, in that fashion, and you don't want that to happen.
Hell no.
Have either you guys ever had your perps actually mention the word gang stalking to you?
No.
On B2K.
Oh, okay. Like I was sitting in the woods one day. So I was walking this long trail trying to go to this park, but there were so many perps already on the trail. So by the time I got to the park, there just would have been too many. So I said, fuck it. I'm just going to go off the main trail into this beaten bush.
Like, and they still followed you. All right.
So they went off the main trail and they sent some homeless dude back there. He goes, "What's up, wild man?" I'm like, "Oh, not much." And he goes, I go, "Oh, not much. What about you?" He goes, "Being chased around by gang stalkers." And I go, "Oh, really, huh?" I was like, "You mean they sent you over here?" Like, he pretty much they sent that dude to come over there and say gang stalking. Right. And he was carrying like a 20-foot stick when he came back there.
Yeah, they're blatant about it. I mean, as you can see, the perps come in here and post that N-word shit and all that racist crap. Because they know I'm really adamant against that racist bullshit.
Yeah, what?
I would just like to see one of these fucking perps fucking walk up to a black person or somebody like that and start spouting that shit. They'd get their fucking teeth knocked out in a hurry. you know.
Yeah.
Um,
They have some of them have they know that like if something was to happen, they have a false sense of security. They think they're gonna be all right, you know, if they were to push someone's buttons too much.
yeah.
And the sad part is not the sad part, it's kind of funny. Like the people they think are gonna come rescue them, like they're gonna be laughing in their head deep down that something happened, you know.
Yeah, there's no Superman gonna drop out of the sky and save no damn gang stalkers. I'm telling you that.
They're just they're pawned like throwaways, I guess.
Maybe eventually.
But
I hope Christ returns and purges them all. I certainly hope so.
Christopher Reeve's gonna come back to life and haunt these bastards. Get back in. He's dropped.
Oh, I accidentally.
I actually had my next door neighbor here, who's definitely part of my stalking. Come out of his house one time with a hatchet and said, "Let's finish this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I went outside. You know, I hobbled out there on my cane because I'm disabled. I didn't take no weapon. I faced off with this sucker, and my wife says, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "I'm about ready to beat this little fucker's ass and stick this hatchet up his butt." And one of the other stalkers here came out here and told him in his ear, "Oh, this isn't what we're trying to do. You're doing it all wrong," and took him away. But I wasn't backing down from that shit. I was going to beat his ass. Man, you can't back down from these scumbags. That's what I got. All I got to say about it. It's not the only time that they've actually, you know, physically came up to me and assaulted me. So it will happen. It can happen. I don't know if it's happened to either of you, but it has happened to me more than once.
Yeah, people say this is a no-touch program. That's not true.
Not entirely true at all. No.
Out of my 5 years, they tried to attack me one time, and the story was I was just walking down the street, or I was walking down this alley, and a perp that stalked me before. He's acting. I'm walking down an alley. He's acting like he's maybe about to try to attack me, and then a girl on a bicycle comes down down the alley also, and he says, "There's my backup." And then the girl drives past me and him, and then stops at the end of the alley and turns around and looks at me and him, and then he just walks his way. I walk my way, and then about 20 minutes later, I'm walking around, and some guy across the street says, "There he is," and it's this dude, and he runs across the street, tries to attack me. I beat him up, and his handler watched the whole thing, and his handler never tried to do anything. He walked over slowly and said, "Okay, Jason had enough." A fake name, and I said, "Oh, okay," and I just let him up, and and then the perp tried to stick his hand out to shake my hand. I was like, "Oh my."
Nah. Uh-oh. There's my dog again. 1 second.
Dude, anytime I try to get on a StreamYard to talk with people, that's the guys stuff, they send so much like frequencies and stuff to my phone that it starts crackling so much.
Yeah, I hear that. I could still understand you though.
I really appreciate you guys coming in and sharing your stories. Because the more people that talk about it, the more credence it lends to the overall scope of how this is a worldwide epidemic terrorist organization. I understand that the UK has a lot of people under siege by it. India, Japan, Australia, you know, a lot of other countries, not just here in the US, you know. I know how sometimes Americans tend to think that they're the whole world, you know, that the world is them. I was thinking about that the other day when I thought was watching television about well, I was watching Pluto on my computer. Something about the World Series, right? Baseball, the World Series, right? We're the only ones that play baseball. You know, it's not the world. It should be called the National Series because it's only here. It's not in the world. It's not like soccer, you know, which is a world-oriented sport. Now that would have something like a World Series, right? See what I mean?
Yeah.
Baseball is basically an American thing. I mean, Japan kind of has something to do. They like it too, but it's pretty much, you know, confined to the U.S.
Yeah, one state or one country I wouldn't want to be targeted in is the UK. I think it's even you got less rights there, you know.
Yeah, I feel you there. Well, I know of a few that are targeted. We have, not going to name names, but one in the chat right now that is from the UK and also targeted. And I know a few more. And
the program's getting it's starting to come out more and more, you know. More people are starting to make videos. I used to have videos, but I deleted them, but I still have them here soon, just depending on how it's going. I might post some videos here soon.
Right. I understand you're not using a camera and you use an icon. As you can see, I have no comms trying to hide my identity behind a screen name or whatever.
I've came on other channels before and showed my face. I'll come on your channel and show my face, but
I'm not saying you're afraid or anything. I'm just saying that as a target, the understanding that your anonymity has been deleted from your existence because as far as like they call doxing goes, or you know, whatever, I'm fully aware that millions of people know my name, millions of people know my face, even though I've only got 151 subscribers on my channel. As I've mentioned before about a video I did called B2K Short that has 27 views on my channel, but as I search myself, and I actively tell people to search yourself, just Google yourself, and you might find something that will link your targeting to you. They took that video to some other platform, some website, and posted it, and it got 2.6 million views. the same video that I made here that only got 27 views got 2.6 million views over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like no one knows who I am. I mean, granted, they're probably all mostly perps, but whatever. That's a lot of people. That they're using my content, somewhere else and getting almost 3 million views off of it, whereas I can't get 100. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure they shadow ban this subject on YouTube. I'm sure the gang stalking.
Oh well, see, yeah, that's another thing. I'm certain of that because videos that I've made, I just posted a nondescript title like I was just another live, right? And it popped up in the recommended section on my recommended section as being alive. But I went in and I edited the title and put hashtag gang stalking, hashtag V2K, hashtag electronic harassment, and it disappeared. Immediately disappeared from the recommended. So right after I saw that, I went in and I edited again and removed those, and lo and behold, there it came back up again. So yes, they are shadow banning anything that has to do with gang stalking, remote neural monitoring, any of that shit. You put, I don't care if you hashtag it. I don't give a fuck how you try to present it. It's gonna be removed from the algorithm in that event. And that right there is absolute definitive empirical proof that they're doing that shit.
Yeah. There's another app called TikTok, I think it's called. I've heard people saying that gang stalking's getting a big view over there for some reason. It's becoming popular on TikTok.
Well, I had someone come in my channel the other night asking me to give him a wrench, and I mentioned I'm not going to give anybody a wrench on my channel, but for certain reasons. But they mentioned that something about there was a big a leaked dump of targeted individuals, and that was how they found my channel on Reddit. There was a leaked dump of targets, and that was how she found my channel from Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
I went and tried to search it. I've never used Reddit. I never look at Reddit, and I went and looked at it today, and I couldn't find anything about it, today or yesterday. And I didn't really dig into it. I just I'll take her at her word about it. But I wasn't able to find anything pertaining to me. And I checked targeted individuals, and I saw a couple pages about targeted individuals, but I didn't really dig into it. I didn't try and do some research to find out.
Yeah, I noticed when you search targeted individual on YouTube, and if you don't do the filter where you could make it where it shows the newest videos, it just shows a whole bunch of perp videos of like a doctor talking about how crazy it is.
Yeah, about how you're nuts and all that. It's not gonna show.
You need to go to the filter part and go to the ones that say like in the last month or last week.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's gonna show you stuff that's like 3 or 4 years old, and that's all you're gonna see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same way if you try and search gang stalking, you're not gonna get anything new. It's gonna be old stuff. The same thing.
Yeah, so that's for when you tell someone that doesn't know about it. Oh yeah, I'm being gang stalked, and then they go type it in on YouTube, and they see that doctor.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, the guy that says he's a doctor talking about it's all paranoia and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that dude's really a doctor. Sorry.
Even if he
Any,
is a doctor, the
anybody,
doctors are in on it, you know?
I'm just saying anybody can put put text at the bottom of your name saying I'm Dr. Fuckhead so and so, you know. Anybody can
Yeah.
do
I remember when I first figured out about the gang stalking, I was like, I was happy I figured out that I found out, but then I was like, man,
it.
this
It was hard
is,
to find anything about it though, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. The way
when
I
you
found it,
research it.
I typed in on Google being followed around by people I don't know for no reason, or being
Uh-huh.
followed around by people I don't know, and they're want me to know they're following me, stuff
Well,
like that.
they want you to know. That's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
confused me at first. You know, like I didn't. That's what threw me off. I was like, why do these people want me to, like? I wasn't doing anything, but I knew it had to be some kind of,
they want
for the
to
amount of people, it has to be the government doing it. You know?
cause an emotional response from you, you know, for you to act out. That's what all that's about.
Yeah.
And they try to do that early on because, like you just said, you don't know shit about what gang stalking is, and they want to
Yeah.
make you look like a nut so they can point at you. This guy's nuts. This guy's crazy. He's nuts. He's nuts. Yeah, you know.
And another
He
thing they
jumped
like to
on
do,
me.
pretend you didn't know about it, but you just knew people were fucking with you, but you just didn't know that there was people being hired.
Uh-huh.
The So if you didn't know about the program, they could make someone, they could do scare tactics to someone, like they do this to women too. So like pretend there's a whole bunch of cars following some women at night. They might scare her so bad where she runs and knocks on someone's door and says, I'm being followed, you
Uh-huh.
know? And then you just seem crazy, you know,
Right.
and then
Well, that's their intent. They want you to seem unstable or crazy or the like. That's that is their intent. That's part of the tactics. Like I said, I in that paper I've written here, that I've just wrote out on a notebook. I I I fully intend to make a document that I'm going to post or get published somewhere somehow. Um, Kind of like an autobiography / research pamphlet, and uh, to give newbies an understanding of what can and will happen to you, in the onset and then through the stages of being targeted, you know, because just like me, when you first got targeted, you had no idea what the fuck gang stalking was, right? No idea that this shit would happen and how it would happen. But after being targeted and harassed and threatened and stalked and all the crap, the street theater, the following, the doxing, the identity and intellectual property theft, all that crap, relationship destruction, all of it. I mean, you didn't know, right? Right? You didn't know, and you had to. I saw you. Oh, you didn't.
yeah,
You didn't
it quit.
know, right?
No,
What was
I didn't
happening?
know. I just knew there was something going on.
Yes,
And
you knew something was going on, but you didn't know why and how.
I
But
was
now
just
you know
thinking,
why. Now you know how, and
how
talking about
many,
it helps others.
I wonder how many TIs that are out there that don't know what's going on, but are just going crazy, and that's been targeted for a long time. I wonder how many there is.
Well, I can kind of give you an insight into that from, like I was talking about, the the research I did on remote neural monitoring. Um, they can focus on, it didn't give an accurate number, but millions millions of people at once with one supercomputer.
Yeah.
With one D-Wave computer, and keep an accurate record of millions of people. So if you're going to go that route, the number of supercomputers, quantum computers, whatever, what have you, that are in use right now and have been for 25 years before, average Joe like us ever heard of a quantum computer, which they have been using them for fucking 25 years. Could be feasibly watching every single human on the planet. Easily. With
Yeah.
100 of them. With 100 of them. So.
Yeah, I seen they were talking about a supercomputer. I was watching one of those Family Guy or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to get a kidney for it's a long story, but they said, okay, type in 1976, who was at this restaurant at this time in 1976. And it seems like, how would someone know? But I'm sure somehow it's trackable.
Right. Well, let's just talk about this. Let's say the NSA, right? The Zetaplex storage unit that they have to just store phone call records and computer traffic. It's a building that has a Zetaplex of information storage that they use just for that purpose. Now that's just one building. Now if you think about Google's, Googleplex, the Googleplex computer, it has a memory capacity that rivals almost every laptop in the world. Just that one computer does. So, like I said, if you have 100 of those storing information on it, there's 9 billion plus people on the planet, say, and 4 billion of those people don't even have a computer or a cell phone. They would have no idea whatsoever that they were being monitored, targeted, stored, collected. And I see you dropped again. I have been on here an hour and 45 minutes with you talking and hearing your stories too. It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and log off now anyway. I've been on here long enough. And had a good time talking to you. Be able to do it again next time soon. So thanks for coming, and I'm going to end it there. Have a good day. Okay.